is a circle, or so I've been told. But the silver is tarnished and the spirit is old. I'm standing at the mailbox with the name scratched away in the dying dog light of a Saturday gray. The windows are boarded, the garden is dead, and the chimney is missing its crown of red. I left as a fire, I'm back as the ash, in a house that was built on a hope and a crash. And it's a hollow-eyed welcome, a ghost-handed shake, for the man who has nothing but a heart left to break. The shadows are longer than the ones that I knew, and the sky is a shade of a different blue. Yeah, the pride goes home, but the home didn't stay. It's the outlaw's return at the end of the day. I walked to the kitchen, I sat in the chair, but the only thing greeting me was the cold mountain air. I saw my own shadow on the peeling gold wall, and it looked like a stranger who was twice as tall. There's a dress in the closet, a toy on the floor, and a lock that don't fit the same key no more. I'm a trespasser now in the place of my birth, just a heavy-set shadow on a lightweight earth. And it's a hollow-eyed welcome, a ghost-handed shake, for the man who has nothing but a heart left to break. The shadows are longer than the ones that I knew, and the sky is a shade of a different blue. And the prophet goes home, but the home didn't stay. It's the outlaw's return at the end of the day. They didn't wait, they didn't weep, it just buried the memories 1,000 feet deep. The town don't remember, the trees don't care. I'm just a back smell in a holy man's prayer. Jar by the sycamore tree, but the only thing inside was a message for me. It said, don't come back looking for what you throw down. The river is gone and the bridge is all brown. So I tip my hat to the empty-eyed glass, and I watch the first light of the morning time pass. And there's a hollow-eyed welcome, a ghost-handed shake, for the man who has nothing but a heart left to break. The shadows are longer than the ones that I knew, and the sky is a shade with the mud and the rain. The sky is a furnace, the earth is a plate, and I'm just a morsel for the hunger of fate. I got a throat full of grit and a heart full of glass, watching the ghosts of the pioneers pass. The sagebrush is brittle, the creek bed is dry, and there ain't no mercy in the copper gold sky. I'm 1,000 miles out from the mercy of rain, with nothing but sorry to give for the pain. And it's all dust and damnation, a mouthful of sand, a long distance walk through a God-forsaken land. The wind is a jury, the sun is a judge, and the dirt is the only thing holding a grudge. Yeah, the road is a fever, the spirit is thin, wrapped in the dust and damnation of sin. I saw a dead horse with a saddle of gold, a monument built for a story grown old. The vultures are patient, they're checking my pulse, while the heat plays a trick on the mind and the soul. I try to remember a hymn from my youth, but the lie's much louder than the ring of the truth. So I spit on the limestone and I keep moving on. In the shadow, everything beautiful gone, and it's all dust and damnation, a mouthful of sand, a long distance walk to a God-forsaken land. The wind is a jury, the sun is a judge, and the dirt is the only thing holding a grudge. And the road is a fever, the spirit is sin, wrapped on the dust and damnation of sin. Feel the grit. Every mile is a candle that's already lit. It ain't just the desert, it ain't just the heat, it's the weight of the bodies beneath your own feet. is a furnace for fire. The leather in a box under the floor, and I swore I wouldn't touch the cool down no more. I spent 5 years leaning on a pacifist plow, but the sky's turning black as a dead man's brow. The walls are at the fence and the fire's at the gate, and the peaceful life is just a lure for the bait. I dug up the past with a shovel-lit a prayer, and I smelled the old gunpowder in the evening air. And it's a rusted spur revival, a waking of the beast, a dark-hearted communion, and a hollow pointed feast. Shake off the cobwebs, polish up the steel, show them how the bite of a broken promise feels. The saint has gone to bed, and the sinner's in the hall for the rusted spur revival at the end of it all. The rows are froze, and the leather's gone stiff, and like a man who's been sleeping on the edge of a cliff. I soaked him in the oil, and I rubbed him in the grease, until he sang the only song that brings me any peace. I strapped him to my hips with a steady-handed grip, and I felt the old lightning start to sizzle and to zip. I ain't looking for a blessing, I ain't looking for a light, I'm just looking for a reason to be heavy in the night. And it's a rusted spur revival, a waking of the beast, a dark-hearted communion, and a hollow point feast. Shake off the cobwebs, polish up the steel, and show them how the bite of a broken promise feels. The saint has gone to bed, and the sinner's in the hall for the rusted spur revival at the end of it all. It's a final blow, it ain't a new path, it's the one I know. The rust is just a skin, the steel is still the same, and the spark is only waiting for a little bit of flame. In the stable is a ghost of the brain, but he knows the vibration of a desperate need. I touch the cold silver of the bed in the rain, and I felt the old fever start to burn in the vein. I clicked my heels together and I heard the metal ring like a bell in the steeple for a dead Lutter King. And it's a rusted spur revival, awakening of the beast, a dark-hearted communion, and a hollow point feast. Shake off the cobwebs, polish up the skill, show them how the bite of a broken promise feels. The saint has gone to bed and the sinner's in the hall for the rusty spur revival at the end of it all. Back in the saddle, back in the black. Once you click the heel, there ain't no turning back. The sun went down with a bloody cough, and the stars are all waiting for the hood to come off. The silver is sharp and the silver is cold, like a coin in the mouth of a story untold. I'm walking the planks with a hitch in my stride, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The shadow is long and the shadow is thin, reflecting the shade of a lifelong sin. And it's a hangman's moon shining so bright, turning the black to a ghostly white, a pale yellow eye and a socket of blue, watching the day that is finally due. High in the heavens, low in the pine, looking down on the end of the line, under the hangman's moon. The sheriff is checking the knot and the sway. He's got a wife in the kitchen and a debt he can't take. The preacher is reading from a page that is torn, about the day that a savior was finally born. But there ain't no salvation in the glow of the light, just a cold hard reality of the dead of the night. The owls are the jury, the wind is the clerk, and the moon is the only one doing the work. And it's a hangman's moon shining so bright, turning the black to a ghostly white, a pale yellow eye and a socket of blue, watching the dead let his finally do. Is a sea and the moon is a bone, and I'm sailing a ship made of shadow and stone. The crickets are quiet, the coyotes are still, watching the fever dream climb up the hill. I'm kneeling in clover, I'm kneeling in dust, with a spirit that's eaten by silver and rust. I ain't got no altar, I ain't got no light, just the cold heavy hand of a prairie land night. And this is my prayer to the empty and wide, to the secrets I keep and the places I hide. Deliver me from the man that I've been, and wash out the red from the grain of the skin. If the morning don't find me, then let the wind say that I died with a whisper. The end of the day on the prairie, under nightfall. Fence posts and crosses for things I have killed, on a landscape of promises never fulfilled. I can hear the tall buffalo grass start to moan, like it's tired of carrying the weight of the throne. I'm asking for nothing, I'm asking for less than a moment of peace in this vast wilderness. Just a blanket of stars and a pillow of clay to hide me from everything coming my way. And this is my prayer to the empty and wide, to the secrets I keep and the places I hide. Deliver me from the man that I've been, and wash out the red from the brain of the skin. If the morning don't find me, then let the wind say that I died with a whisper. At the end of the day on the prairie, under the nightfall. The grass is as endless, the silence is loud. I'm just a small shadow beneath a big cloud. Don't judge me by the blood, don't judge me by the gold, just judge me by the stories that'll never be told. prairie. Into the nightfall, the grass is a sea. The grass isn't stone.